Hey, beautiful souls, it's Brooke. Welcome back for your Aquarius full moon lunation update. How are you guys doing? Things have been a little crazy with the energy. Are y'all doing well? Just remember, it's not happening to me, but for me, okay? So we have the Aquarius full moon that's going to be happening tomorrow. Okay, I'm recording this Sunday morning, and so the Aquarius full moon is going to be tomorrow. Now, a little housekeeping before we dive into that. So, if you guys are interested in joining my Aquarius full moon healing circle, I am going to be offering two different times tomorrow. So, I'm going to have one at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time. And then I'm going to have another one at 7 p.m. So, I would love to have you guys join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I go over your birth chart, and the link is below. You can find it on my website under events. And also, I wanted to share with you guys, if you've not had an opportunity to check out my blog, please do so. It is being suppressed big time on all of my socials. And when I do post it on there, it's causing my socials to be suppressed. So I have quit posting it on my socials. You guys, I upload it every single day, every day. Okay. Wednesdays and Saturdays, it may be later in the evening, but every single day you can find an update on my website, on my blog of what's going on, what's been brought up to the surface, and how to manage and work through the energy. Okay. So let's dive into the charts, shall we? This full moon is truly going to be packed with punch. Okay. Literally, that's not the one that I want, but it's going to be packed with a punch. So August 19 at 14:25 Eastern time. So you want to make sure that you check your time zone where you live to ensure that you get the right time of when this full moon is going to be taking place for you based on where you are located. Okay. I did pull some cards and we'll talk about that just so I could see, get an idea what's going on, where do we need to focus, what do we need to look at. So the sun is now going to be 27 degrees Leo, and the moon is also going to be 27 degrees Aquarius. Now, this full moon, Mercury retrograde, is going to be opposing it. So it can feel like you're just really not able to express your emotions clearly, or you're just not able to articulate, okay, how you feel, because there is that opposition that's taken place with Mercury, and Mercury controls our mind, it controls our words, okay? With this opposition, you also want to be sure that when you travel, you're calling in divine protection, okay? There is going to be a little bit of restrictions as far as traveling goes, okay? And not only is the sun and Mercury going to be opposing the moon, they're also going to be squaring Uranus, all right? So this is where things can come in out of nowhere that you don't see, okay? This could be car accidents. This could be mistakes happening when you travel, getting lost, arguments even, because you do have Uranus squaring Mercury and the sun, okay? So this is where things can truly come out of fucking nowhere. Uranus is very unpredictable, Okay, you truly don't see it coming. You don't see, like, you just don't see it. Okay, it brings disruption. And most of the time, it's going to bring disruption that we truly need. Okay, so with this full moon being in Aquarius, Aquarius is truly about the collective. Aquarius is truly about humanity, right? Are we going in the direction that is best for humanity? Are we going in the direction that is going to bring healing and peace? Or Or are we going in the direction that's going to cause disruption and discord? Okay, because that's where that square is going to come into play. And the way I see squares is they're like pressure points, okay, boiling points coming up to the surface that you will either grow through or a tower will take place. And then this is where you're going to have an opportunity to learn how to move forward. Okay, now Venus is in between that square with Jupiter and Mars. Okay, so Venus is still really filling the square because Venus is at 18 degrees in Virgo, right? And Mars is at 19 degrees, while Jupiter is at 17 degrees of Gemini. So we still have that square there where, okay, I want to move forward. I want to go in this direction. However, it's like I'm just hitting a roadblock. I'm not quite able to go forward, right? This can come up with our relationships. This can come up with our money. And where Venus is in Virgo, you want to be sure that you're not nitpicking things to death, okay? Because Venus in Virgo can seek perfection. It can also seek um, trying to control and nitpick our relationships, our money, like we have to have it in certain order. It must be this way. Okay. So with this square, you want to be able to flow. Really, the big theme over the next 2 weeks, if you take nothing at all that I say, the big thing is to trust your guides. Okay. Rejection is God's protection, okay? And remain flexible, okay? Remain flexible because there's going to be a lot of rearranging that takes place, especially if you are not on your destined path. If you're not going in the direction that you're meant to be going in, there's going to be a lot of rearranging that's taken place, okay? I also want to point out that Saturn is in an exact square with Jupiter too. So it's like we're trying to move, we're trying to go. There's a lot of karma that's being dealt right now too with Saturn retrograde. Okay, we're trying to move, we're trying to go forward, but we're meeting resistance. Okay, we're not truly able to expand, we're not truly able to move forward due to these squares. And this is why I'm saying pause. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. And the reason being, all these confirmations, I love it. And the reason being, Mercury retrograde, you're prone to making mistakes when you're typing things out, when you're driving. There's typically a lot of wrecks during Mercury retrograde. Okay, and we got Mars in Gemini. So this is also another, placement to where mistakes and opportunities for lessons are going to come up to the surface. Okay. There could be a lot of changes in our money. Okay. We've already seen that be brought to light, especially with what happened with XRP just a couple of weeks ago. There definitely could be a lot of things happen with the stock market. There could be a lot of things that's brought up as far as the legal system goes, laws changing to support the new monetary system that is coming in. Okay. see. So with this full moon, okay, you're going to want to trust the universe and you're going to reflect over your priorities and leave the past behind. What is working for you? Okay, this Venus in Virgo is giving us an opportunity to be able to see what works, what is truly beneficial for me, what do I truly need to have in my life in order to have balanced relationships, okay? Because it's all about being balanced. It's all about the balanced relationships, regardless if that relationship is with others or if it's with your money. Where are you needing to focus your energy in order to get you over the cycle of what's coming up? Now, keep in mind, we are in the thick of retrograde season. So, this is where we practice opportunities or are given opportunities to practice who we say we are. Okay. We always have to be extremely mindful of that. All right. Lessons are coming back around. The past is coming back around, regardless if the past is from this life or previous lives. Okay. This is where we live past, present, future simultaneously. Okay. There's definitely a lot of karma that's being balanced within the collective. And in the end, we have to make the decision on how we want to move forward. Are you being who you say you are on and off screen? Because we have the sun and Mercury and Leo, right? And it all represents being seen in the public eye. Are you who you say you are? Are you being your true authentic self? Have you taken the mask off? These squares will force you to step into your true authentic self faster than anything, okay? Now, if you have personal planets in any of these degrees, you're going to be feeling this on a personal level, okay? If you need help diving into your chart, please reach out. I would love to be able to help you with that. So, Divine Feminine, with this full moon lunation cycle, what's happening is the merger of your soul, okay? The 5D, the 3D, truly anchoring that in. So, Divine Feminine, remember to flow. The more flexible that you can be going through the next 2 weeks, the easier that this process is going to be. Okay. We're processing a lot of karma right now, so which means we're clearing a lot of karma. Okay. And this will show up in the things that's going on around us. Okay. Remember, we have karmic contracts with just about everybody that we meet. Okay. Nothing is accident, everything has meaning. So there is a lot of karma that's being cleared at this moment. Divine Masculine, you're seeing the power of the sacred sexuality. Okay. So with this, you're really seeing that, hey, we're not meant to have sex with multiple people. You're seeing that, hey, we do create soul ties, karmic ties when we have sex with multiple people. Okay. This is also that Venus at 18 degrees, really taking note and saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't be sleeping with multiple people. Maybe I shouldn't sleep with somebody until I know that this is my person and we are married. You know what I mean? Until we are married and we're in what we call a union, right? Venus and Virgo is also taking note of everything that is affecting our health. Okay? Like everything. So, does your lifestyle fully support your values of what you say you value? Meaning, you value your health but you eat shit every single day. You value clean air and clean water, but yet you keep your mouth shut about the injustices that are going on, right? So we're really going to have to step up and truly own our values, okay? The things that we truly value as humanity. And we're going to have to shine a light on the things that aren't working. Like if this isn't working, we need to take note. We need to jot it down, make a list of what is not working and what is working, and start eliminating those things with this full moon lunation update. Ding! Telling you, it's been pretty active this morning, okay? So take note. Mhm. What's working, what's not working, okay? Whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your community, whether it's in the world, in the globe, okay? What is working as far as your health, as far as, your relationships, your money, all of those things, okay? Because with this square, we're going to be given opportunities to overcome those things that aren't in line with our values, okay? Because behavior and values have to align, they have to mirror, they have to match, right? So when our values are not aligning with our behaviors, this is where these squares are going to start coming into play. Opportunities to redirect us, to show us, right? To show us where maybe we're not seeing things clearly. Because we do have Neptune retrograde at 29 degrees. So those rose-colored glasses have been removed. When people show you who they say they are, trust what you see, okay? Trust what you see. I want to go to the next slide. The next day that I want to talk about is August 20th. This is going to be Tuesday, okay? And at 22:25 Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, sorry, we are going to have the moon now conjunct Saturn at 17 degrees, okay? And this is going to be activating that grand water trine that Saturn has been in for a hot minute. And as you all know, there's been a lot of stuff coming up with the water, okay? Regardless if it's the ocean, regardless if it's war, regardless if it's bottled water, regardless if it's the rain, regardless if it's dams, okay? So with this being a full moon lunation cycle, when the moon gets close to Saturn, we're going to start seeing more of that come out, okay? And the reason being is because the darkness has to be seen. The darkness has to be acknowledged in order for us to take note, okay, Venus in Virgo, in order for us to take note and move forward with what's truly working and what's not, okay? This is where we're going to have to be really honest with ourselves. We're going to have to stop pointing outside of us, look within us and say, what can I do to be the change? What can I do to truly inspire others to be the change as well, okay? Now, we could see, I hate to say this, but keep an eye on the water, literally, especially during this time, okay? And the reason being is because it is going to be opposing Venus, okay? It's going to be opposing Venus. So, the biggest lesson with Saturn and Pisces has truly been about learning the lesson in regards to war and the inhumane ways that it has truly affected humanity. Earth was not intended for it to be the way that it is. Okay. And the reason being is because um, since the beginning of time, the dark has ruled this dimension. This has been Lucifer's playground. This is where Lucifer was cast out of heaven too. It was here. Okay, it is here, right? So Lucifer has been leading the way within the world. Okay, and 2012 we started our true ascension process, right? With the split of the two earths. So keep that in mind as we're moving forward. Things are going to look intense, things are going to look extremely bad. They have to, okay? They have to, in order for us to see, acknowledge, and then take action to bring the change that we're meant to bring, okay? Mars is slowly moving out of that square with Venus. You'll see that Mars is now at 20 degrees and Jupiter is now at 17. So Venus is still in between Mars and Jupiter. We're still going to be feeling that energy. Now, Jupiter and Mars are still in their squares too. So there's going to be a lot of restriction. It's going to feel like we can't move forward. It's going to feel like quicksand. It's going to feel like I know where I want to go, but it's like I'm hitting this roadblock, or this tower is happening, or I'm being redirected here. Okay, these things have to happen in order to get you in line with where you're meant to be. Okay, now keep in mind the sun is now out of the square with Uranus. We're still going to be feeling that a little bit. So, on a soul level, it is going to feel like things are coming straight out of nowhere to redirect you. That is Uranus. Okay. Ride the waves. Ride the waves. And it could also really trigger and bring up that rebellious energy of, this is just not working and I truly just want to burn it to the ground. Don't do that, okay? Don't don't do that, okay? But it is going to feel that way. And the reason why it's going to feel that way is because Uranus doesn't like to be controlled. Uranus doesn't like to be told what to do. And when you start restricting Uranus, that wants to bring change, that wants to bring innovation, that wants to help people grow and expand and become better, right? Because Aquarius is truly about the collective. Aquarius is truly about humanity, okay? I also read Uranus as the internet too. So we could see more hacks online. We could also see with the solar flares, we could see more issues with our electronics, things like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Let's go to next day. Okay, the next day that I want to talk about is August 21st. And this is going to be 2025 p.m. Now, on this day, the moon is now going to move into Aries and is going to be working its way to the north node. Okay, and then within 24 hours, it's going to be getting close to Chiron. So, as this happens, especially with this Aquarius full moon lunation cycle, as soon as the moon goes into Aries, I do feel that we're going to be hearing a lot more about war. we're going to be hearing a lot more about crimes against humanity. We're going to be hearing a lot more of what we've not been able to see, what's been going on behind the curtain as far as war goes, as far as crimes against humanity goes. Now, Uranus and the sun is making its way out of that square. So things are going to be feeling a little better. You're not going to feel as triggered to just take a match, light the bridge on fire, and walk away. Okay. Because that square can make you want to do that. That square can make you be like, fuck it, let's light the bitch up. You know what I mean? So pause before you do that. Okay. Pause, ground. Okay, because the lesson can truly lie in being able to control your emotions, right? Your emotions is what's really going to trigger that instant, I just want to burn it no matter what the consequences are, right? Now, Venus is now going to be at 20 degrees. Still feeling that square with Mars, still feeling that tightness with Mars. So we've not quite got out of that one yet. Okay. And Jupiter and Saturn are still in their square. Okay. It's going to feel like we're trying to move. It's going to feel like we're trying to move, go forward. And we are literally stuck in quicksand. Okay. Pause. So really, the best way that I can say to work through these squares, because literally it's going to be like tight for the next 2 weeks. Okay. You're going to want to move, but you're going to feel restricted. You're just not going to see the doors opening. Now, if you are seeing the doors opening, that means that you have learned the lessons. That means that you have seen the right opportunities. Okay. That means that you have listened and gone in the direction that your guides are telling you to go in. Because during these squares and during these hard aspects, the only doors that are going to open are going to be the doors that you're meant to open. So if you feel like you're beating your head up against the wall because shit's just not going, pause, ask your spirit team for messages, signs, synchronicities to point you in the direction that you're meant to be going in. Trust me, only the divine doors are going to be what opens. Okay, the next day that I want to talk about is going to be August 23rd at 8:45 a.m. Okay, so happy Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgo. If you guys would like to have a solar return reading, you can find the link on my website to sign up to see what this year is going to look like for you based on your solar return chart. I love my solar return readings, and I love to do them because they truly do give you an idea of what the year is going to be looking like, the areas that you're going to be focused on, and the things that you're going to be working through. Okay, there's a lot that you can see in your solar return chart. So that's something that you're interested, please feel free to reach out to me. So the sun is now going to be at 0 degrees Virgo. Okay. The moon at 8:45 a.m. on the 23rd is going to be conjunct Chiron. Okay. Venus is going to be at 22 degrees Virgo. Mars is going to be at 22 degrees Virgo, squaring exactly. Okay. Jupiter is going to be at 17 degrees Gemini, squaring Saturn at 17 degrees Pisces. Now, keep in mind, these squares, immutable signs, okay, they are triggering us to mutate and adapt, okay? It is not happening to me. It is happening for me, all right? And truly, when you tap into that unpredictability energy of the mutable signs, it's easier to kind of flow through it. You want to hold on loosely. And I love to use that as an example. And the reason being is because, like, when we are manifesting, when we're wanting to really do things, we tend to hold on extremely tight. And that creates the opposite effect of what we're trying to actually do, right? So when you hold on loosely, you're setting the intentions that this is the direction that I want to go in. And these are the action steps. These are the things that I'm doing in order to take action, in order to move forward, right? So when those towers show up, when those doors close, you just kind of adapt and go, okay, well, this wasn't the one, so I'm going to keep going in this direction. And 9 times out of 10 in retrograde season, going through these squares, okay, and this is going to be a major T square that we're going to be feeling for a week, you know, if not longer, right? So it's like every day, Venus, Mars, square, Saturn, Jupiter, square, okay? And these are immutable signs. So which means stay on your toes, be quick to adapt. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me, okay? And hold on loosely, okay? Try not to hold on too tight to where it feels like you're just not getting what you want. Now, with the moon being conjunct Chiron and still having the nodes in Libra and Aries, we're going to hear a lot about war. We're going to hear a lot about the toxic masculine, the toxic patriarchy. Okay. We're going to hear more about crimes against humanity, right? Because Mercury is going to be at 23 degrees of Leo, trotting over to the moon and Chiron. Okay, so things that have been brought up in the past, we're going to kind of go back and revisit. Hey, is this a good thing? Hey, should we really be doing this? Hey, does this truly make sense that we continue digging for lithium while all these spot lines are going crazy? Like, is that really the best thing for humanity? Maybe not. Maybe not. Like, is it really the best thing for humanity to continue to do weather modification while the weather is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Maybe not. Maybe. Okay. So on this day, we're going to feel it intensely. We're going to see it intensely within the collective. Okay. There could be a lot of residual wounds that are brought up to the surface for you. Sit with them. Okay, give them love. This would also be a great day to do any inner child work, but also with the sun being at 0 degrees Virgo, spend some time taking note. Look at how far you've come. Also, make sure you block those that you don't want showing up during Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde brings the past back up, right? Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so the next day that I want to talk about is going to be, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Why has it paused? Hello, Mercury retrograde. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to share. There we go. Okay, so the next day that I want to talk about is going to be the 24th. Okay, the 24th, we're going to have Mercury at 22 degrees of Leo. So backing out of that trine with Chiron. Okay, the moon is now going to be at 7 degrees of Taurus. The sun is going to be at 1 degree Virgo. Venus is going to be at 23 degrees Virgo, still squaring Mars. Okay. Jupiter's now going to be moving out of that square with Saturn. So we're going to start feeling a little bit more movement. We're going to start feeling like, okay, we can go forward. There could be a lot of things that come up, okay, as far as our money goes. There could be a lot of things that come up as far as our relationships go. There could be a lot of towers, a lot of redirection with these squares. I think that I did that. Oh, okay, the 25th. So the 25th, we are going to have the sun at 2 degrees Virgo, okay? Mercury's still coming out of that trine with Chiron. We're going to have Mars now at 23 degrees of Gemini. And finally, okay, we're going to start feeling a little bit of relief as far as our money goes, as far as our relationships go with this square, okay, that's been taking place here. And Jupiter is now going to be working out of the square there, okay? That opposition that Venus and Saturn has been in, we've already gone through all that, okay? And the moon is going to be making its way to Uranus. When the moon gets closer to Uranus, a lot of the things that Uranus has been bringing to light as far as the mad scientist goes, as far as Dr. Frankenstein goes, as far as all of the restrictions, okay, that the governments have been trying to put onto us due to, okay, we're going to see a little bit of this. We're already starting to see this kind of come out, especially with what the WHO announced 2 days ago, and then what's being brought up in California as far as that's concerned. If you all know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to mind my words to stay, within the means of talking about it here and not getting in trouble. I lost all my charts. Hello, Mercury retrograde. Okay, so the next day that I want to talk about is going to be the 28th. And if I've skipped a day, I'm sorry. Okay, the 28th, we're going to have Venus working into that opposition with Neptune. Okay, are you truly seeing your relationships and your money clearly? Okay, hopes, wishes, dreams, all that good stuff. The sun is now going to be at 5 degrees Virgo. Mercury is working out of that trine with Chiron. The moon is now going to be in Cancer, working its way to that grand water trine with Saturn. Okay. Um, Venus and Jupiter, or I'm sorry, Saturn and Jupiter are now going to be working their way out of that square. Okay. Venus and Mars are also working their way out of those squares. So this is when the energy is going to start feeling a little easier. Okay. Because we're working out of those squares, we're picking up the pieces. Okay. Because it is going to feel like we're picking up the pieces. We're picking up the pieces to move forward. Now, I'm not saying that the next 2 weeks are going to be rough, but we have been building up to these 2 weeks for a while. Okay. We're getting close to having Pluto move into the final degrees of Capricorn. So we're getting a prequel, a pre peek of what's to come. Hmm. Okay, the next day that I want to talk about is going to be the 29th. And I have a feeling I skipped some days. And if I did, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, the next day that we're going to talk about is going to be the 29th. This is when the moon's going to be in that grand water trine. Make sure that you keep an eye on the water. Okay. This day, Mercury is going to station. Mercury retrograde is now complete. Okay. So going through and re-examining everything. Okay, fully re-examining, taking everything in, allowing for the updates to truly take place. Venus is going to be at the final degrees of Virgo out of that square with Mars. Mars is now going to be at 26 degrees. Jupiter's going to be working its way out of that square with Saturn. Jupiter's now going to be at 18 degrees. Saturn's going to be at 16 degrees in Pisces. So this day particular is going to be, it's going to feel pretty intense. Okay. Just remember, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. But I am so thankful to see Mercury station on August 29th, right before we move into the Virgo new moon. Okay. No, that's not the one that I wanted. Found it. Sorry. Mercury retrograde. They all have numbers. Now I see. Okay, on August 30th, we're going to have now Saturn at 16 degrees Pisces. We're also going to have Chiron now at 22 degrees Aries. Now, this is going to be the killed or be killed degree. Okay. Mars is going to be at 27 degrees of Gemini, working completely out of that square with Venus, because Venus is now going to be at 1 degrees of Libra. So on the 29th, Venus is going to be at 0 degrees Libra. The moon is now going to be in Virgo. The sun is going to be at 8 degrees. I'm sorry, the moon is now going to be in Leo. The sun is now going to be at 8 degrees Virgo. Okay. We're also going to have Jupiter at 18 degrees. So Jupiter's now out of that square. So this is where this energy is going to start feeling a little easier. Okay. This day, I want you guys to pay attention to what truly comes out with the world leaders. I want you to pay attention to what's brought up to the surface in regards to war, crimes against humanity. Because we got Jupiter at 18 degrees, Chiron at 22 degrees. You know, these are the killed or be killed degrees. So anytime that we see those come up, this is where we can see a true peak of the energy. We can see a lot of dark brought up to the surface. Okay. Now, on September 1st, Mercury and the moon are going to come together. Okay. Mars is now going to be at 28 degrees. We're going to be really moving on up to the final degrees of Gemini. I will be ready for Mars to be out of Gemini. Let's see, Venus is now going to be at 3 degrees Libra, working her way to the south node. Now, this is where we're going to really see a lot of things brought up to the surface as Venus gets closer to the south node. Okay. Mercury is going to be trining Chiron at 22 degrees. With Mars at the final degrees of Gemini. Okay. Uranus is going to station retrograde. This day, I do feel is going to be extremely heated. Extremely heated. And the reason being is because Mercury is going to be at 22 degrees. Chiron's going to be at 22 degrees. They're in great harmonious communication. Okay. Venus is working her way again to the south node, starting to get into better communication with Mars and Jupiter since we are now out of that square energy. So one of the biggest things that I truly want you guys to remember and to focus on, okay, is it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. If you are not exactly where you're meant to be, you need to make the decision that you're going to go and be where you're meant to be. Okay. This is where a lot of redirection is going to take place. Okay. Be prepared for anything to truly transpire, especially when Uranus stations for retrograde. Uranus has been conjunct Algol for quite some time now, throwing things just at us left and right, right? So keep that in mind. I did pull some cards. Divine Feminine. You're being encouraged to allow for the merger of the 3D and the 5D to take place. Allow for your higher self to come in. Stay in flow. Okay, the more that you can flow with the planets and all these squares, the easier that this is going to be. Divine Masculines really start to see how powerful the sacred sexual energy truly is. Okay. Now, there's going to be things from the past, maybe contracts that contracts, people, places, situations that may have left you feeling like you were out in the cold, like you truly didn't matter. Maybe lying, cheating, stealing took place. Okay. And so, what's going to end up happening is all of this is going to have to be brought out. All of this is going to have to be brought up to the surface in order for it to be acknowledged, and then you be able to move forward in the direction that you're meant to be going in. But this is the thing, we have to make the choice to acknowledge it. We have to make the choice to see it for as it is. Okay. If we always know better, we're not going to see the opportunity of growth. Okay. When we start seeing everything as an opportunity, it doesn't feel like we're getting beat up. Okay. It doesn't feel like we're being punished, right? Because just remember, we're in Earth School. This is where we come to learn lessons. So when we change the way we're talking about it, this is an opportunity to grow. This is an opportunity to clear your karma. This is an opportunity for your soul to ascend to the next level. And every time we go through ascension, every time we go through that process, we have a new level of karma. We have a new level of lessons. We have a new level of people and opportunities that start showing up. Those of us that are healing generational karma, those of us that are healing our own generational trauma, those of us that are healing, period. All of you healers, okay? This is going to be your time to shine. Remember to hold peace while in the tornadoes. Okay, this is going to be vital. All right. And it truly does boil down to you making the decision that you're going to move forward in what truly lights your soul on fire, because that's where your mission is going to start coming to fruition. Truly, the things that we're meant to be doing is connected to how your soul feels when you are doing it. So, over the next 2 weeks, let go of whatever needs to be let go of. People, places, jobs, situations, locations are happening, okay? And Uranus is bringing the disruption to get you the fuck out of there. Let go. Let go. Jump on the Uranus ride. See where you get thrown to. It can be a little wild. Let me tell you. It really can. I mean, I've been there. I've done it. Okay. I've let go and let God. Literally let go and let God. And that's where that Uranus will come into play. Like, you'll get up and you will literally be picked up and placed exactly where you're meant to be. All right. I love you guys. I hope to see you on my Aquarius full moon lunation update. You all take care, and I'll see you guys again for the next new moon in Virgo. Okay. Love you guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.